I'm here with
Kitty, Belle,
and Chloe. And we've got another awesome craft for you. Now this one actually, if you were with us last summer for Friendly Hollow, then you've actually already seen it. But we've had some questions about how to do it because we only had a document. So here's how to actually do the craft, a video that's a little easier to follow. And our craft are these bookmarks. Now, you've heard us talk about in the paper collage video, making paper collage bookmarks. But we didn't actually talk about the tassel. We talked about putting a friendship bracelet on it, but we actually have not talked about how to make these tassels. Now, I have one here, and of course, Girl Scout cookie box. This one was made with embroidery floss, and we did that one so it's a little bit easier to see with the different parts, each done a different color. This one here is made out of a empty cracker box, and this one we decorated, and we have a yarn tassel. So we will show you how to make those. You ready to see what supplies you need? Yeah! Awesome. Now, to make our tassels, the first thing we're gonna need, I forgot to grab the boxes, Chloe just handed them to me, are some empty boxes. Now, we, of course, picked Girl Scout cookie boxes, and they just need to be empty. Get your caregiver's permission before you start cutting up cookie boxes, or eating all the cookies all at once. So, empty cardboard boxes, a cracker box, a cereal box would look great, would work great. You need a piece of corrugated cardboard cut to the size that you want your tassel to be. That's the one that I use that, so you want that cut. You need a hole puncher, a pair of scissors, some yarn, or as I said, you can use the embroidery floss. Those are the colors that I used. If you're gonna decorate it, markers, and you possibly need some sort of a tapestry needle. Now, be careful with these. Caregiver's permission. We have a couple of different sizes that will work. Make sure these are a little bit sharp. So, very careful. And yes, Chloe's saying, don't forget to cover your table. Cover your table, because when you get to start cutting the yarn, it can get a little bit messy. So, but yes. So, you want me to show you how to do this?
Yeah!
Awesome. Now for our bookmark, I will actually start when I just saw this on this box. I'm just going to take a little bit of this box. Now, your bookmark can be any shape that you want. I am thinking about a triangle right now that says Girl Scouts. Oops. And you, of course, can use this side of the box, or you can flip it over. And I will do just a smidge of coloring. Of course, you should do a better job than that, but you get the idea that I have a colored side. Now, to make our actual tassel. Now, yarn is much easier to use, but it's harder to see on camera. So I'm going to use, set my bookmark aside. Oh, I do need to put a hole in it real quick before I forget. I want my hole right there. Let me set that aside before I lose that. So for our bookmark, now this one that I have done, this tassel that I have done, is done in 3 different colors, so you can see what part is which. So the main body of the tassel is this kind of pinky purple. The wrapping part here is green, and we actually tie it on with this light blue that actually matches our bookmark almost perfectly. So you can see where that all ties in. You can see where all it is. Now, when it's all the same color, this was done, of course, with multicolored thread, or yarn, excuse me, you can't really see which of those is the actual tie pieces. So it all blends together. But for you to see, we're going to go with the 3 colors. Now, for our 2 parts of a color, for our tie-on color, I want to take this floss, and this, you need to think about how long you'll want it. But a good length to that I like is I wrap it, this is how tall my tassel will be. I wrap it around once, twice, 3 times. So back and front 3 times. Then I don't throw the scissors because that's not good. Clip. Okay. And then I set that one aside. And then now this one is our wraparound color. Again, I will wrap that around once, twice. That's twice. That's 3 times. And then snip. And now we'll set that one aside. We cut those ahead of time, that saves trouble later. Let me set this part aside right there so it doesn't tangle. I had to cut because I tangled it. So here we are again. Okay, hold down the bottom with your thumb and wrap it around. That's once, twice, 3 times. I really don't count. It depends on how fluffy you want your tassel. Now the thinner the string, the more wraps around you're going to want. You have the big fluffy yarn, you really don't need to go as many times as with thinner stuff. So let's say that looks great. Okay, now you make sure you still have the bottom at the bottom. You see your little tail right there. So you're going to want to cut it on the back side right there. Yeah, I did get it. Okay, set that aside. Now, okay, sorry. Had to cut the camera. I got everything all tangled up, so slide that over there. Okay, now that we have the length we want of our tassel, we're actually going to take it back off for a second because I have a little trick on how to make sure that you get your tassel tie on. Okay, take this, fold this in half, and you want to have it with the shorter ends going this way. Now, since I'm right-handed, I'll hold it with my left and go around this way. If you are left-handed, you would want to do like this on this side and wrap around with your left hand, and that just makes it easier. But as I said, since I'm right-handed, I'll flip this around. Now for right now, you just want a small amount, otherwise it tangles. We'll show you how to slide that in a second. So now, take your piece of, this is part of the reason why the floss is harder to work with, because it flips everywhere. Okay, so bring that to the end. Now I will wrap this back around, trying to avoid my thumb and making sure not to pull this right here loose. Oh my, I tangled it again. Just having a tangled up sort of day. Okay, there we go. So now we have our tassel here like this. Now we're going to slide this over. So we have a longer piece here. I'll slide up to the top, and this is part of the reason why corrugated cardboard works so nicely, because it has this edge right here, and we'll put our tie part right on the edge. Now we can compare, hold this down. You want to make sure, Kitty's kicking me in the table, that this is a little longer, just as long. Now here's where you get to decide how long your tassel is going to be. There's my tassel thread, and you may, if you want it shorter, then just pull this longer and this can be shorter. Okay, now we get back to our knots. Okay, so we're going to tie a square knot. If you don't remember how to tie a square knot, go back to our knot tying videos. Okay, right over left and under and pull tight. Left over right and under and pull tight. Now there, and you want to kind of cinch this up kind of tight. Doesn't have to be super tight, but you want to try and make it slide a little bit less. So there. Now here's the little bit of a tricky part. You have to carefully slide it off, and you want to push from both sides, both ends at the same time. Okay. And we pop it off, and there we go. So there, I'm going to lay our tassel. Here's the loop end, and the open end is down here on there. Now you see, if you've done this correctly, then you'll have your main tassel ends down here at the same end as this. If these ends are up here, then you've got it backwards, and just try it again, and it's just an easy fix. And yes, that happened. So now we almost have our tassel. Now we take our other piece of the thread that we cut, and we're going to wrap it around. Now with the tassel, you see right here, this, I'll hold it this way so it's the same way I've been showing you. So this is close. The cut end is down here, and this end is close. The tie is up here close to here, to the folded over end. So we'll take this. Now here is where it's great to be crafting with a friend. Kitty, can I have you put one finger right here and one finger down here? Okay. She said the camera. Okay, so now you can kind of see what's going on. Now you want this as evenly as possible. Now we're going to tie. A square knot will work, but a surgeon's knot is even better because it holds things super tight. Okay, so the surgeon knot is almost like the square knot. There's just one extra under. So right over left and under. So much easier to see with bigger thread now, wouldn't it? Okay, now we take that and twirl it under again. So we have two unders right there, if you kind of really can't see them at all. But it slides and it stays put. That's the great thing about the surgeon's knot, is it stays put. A square knot will loosen back up, but the surgeon's knot holds tight. So we keep going, same as with the square knot, left over right. And there we have it tight. Thank you, Kitty. Okay, so that's what it looks like now. Here's our loose ends. This is up close to the top. Now this part, you want to start, you may need to slide your knot down a little bit. We want to start wrapping. The one string goes the one way, the one goes the other way. This part's a little fiddly. So we'll wrap this around. This is where shorter strings might actually work a little better. So we just, one goes one way. Now we want to stop when it's a little bit, but it works great if you twist up, and where the knot to hold it's down here, the knot that we're worried about now is going to be up here at the top. So this is where it's nice to have their threads a little too long. Okay, so now here we are at the top. Same thing as before, only you can use the surgeon's knot or you can use the square knot. It'd be better to set that on the table for me. Okay, hope you can still see that. Okay, so right or left, under, left over right, and under. Now this, oh, it's a little loose, but it'll be okay. Now, you can leave it that way and just kind of have these ends hanging out, or what works best is for us to take our tapestry needle, and this one is plastic, and I like it because it works great. It's not too sharp. So go ahead and wiggle it in the center. And see, it's poking out there. Okay, before we pull it through though, we need to thread our needle. Make sure and get our loose green ends. Now these are not quite the same. And this may take just a bit, and the bigger the eye of the needle, but if it's too big, then it won't slide through. There are both ends. And if you need help, get your caregiver's help with this, because Threading that needle and using this needle can be a little difficult. Okay. So now I'm just going to pull those through. I just switched directions so you can see a little better. Okay, there we go. Now you can see I have my ends tucked. They're underneath those wraps. And you can see the other part. Now we will take our loops. We will cut our loops loose. There is our tassel. Now I will go ahead and even the end up. You can take a lot of time evening it up. I just want to cut my extra ends just a little bit. And do make sure that gets cleaned up later. Okay, there is our tassel. Now let's go back to our bookmark, and I will take my loop end and thread it through. You can go either this up through the bottom or down through it, either way. And we're going to tie our lark's head knot now. So we make our big loop, we thread through, and we can pull tight. And there is our bookmark with our knots that we've used. Campers, you ready to give this tassel a try?
Yeah!
Awesome. And we're finished. Let's take a look at what we did. Here is mine. Now, I have trefoils on the back, which is one of my favorite cookies. Tagalongs and trefoils. So here is my little tassel to go with it, and polka dots. We have Miss Kitty's. And look, it's a ladybug. Tagalongs. It's like a little ladybug. Isn't she cute? I'll show you. So cute. Guess what shape Belle did? Belle did a heart because she loves it. Very cute. I love it. Pretty pink tassel. All pink. Very cute. And then we have Chloe's. It's a happy face. So happy face. Doing the tassel, she must have really liked that. So there's her pretty tassel. Awesome. Well, we hope that you had fun making tassels with us. Now, again, this is a little bit tricky, and if you notice, we kind of struggled with it. So just keep practicing and just rewatch the video as many times as you need to get all the different spots. And before long, you'll be making excellent, beautiful tassels. And even if they aren't perfect, they're still awesome because you made them. So, again, if you have a little help, need a little help, I know that Kitty had to get me to help her a little bit, and so did Chloe, and I think Belle did too, so, you know, sometimes you just need a little help. So we hope that you had fun, and we will see you later. Bye!
Bye!
And now that I said that, don't forget to clean up your mess. All right, bye!